students dropped out of school between 2023-24. Quite a shocking number given कि एक single year के अंदर में ये projections को दिखाया जा रहा है. And also more importantly, because this is not a new phenomenon. In the past decade, we had a lot of such reports describing and representing the same trend, the same phenomenon. Welcome everyone to Anthro Lens. This is the exclusive series where we try to cover the case studies, enrich your material for the UPSC Anthropology optional subject. And I'm Utkarsh Singh again with the third lecture in this particular series. Now, when we talk about the tribals in India, we certainly are aware of the fact that around 8.6% of the Indian population is the STs, the scheduled tribes. And this data is as per 2011 census. We are aware of the fact that we do not have any recent data because no census has been done in past decade. And among these tribals, post-independence, we have found out, various researchers have found out, that there are various level of deprivation, different type of problems. If you want to categorize those problems, we may categorize them under the header of land alienation, under the header of indebtedness, under the header of like healthcare, hygiene, sanitation, housing, relocation, rehabilitation, displacement. And one most important is the one that we are going to discuss today. And that is the problem of education. Now, the tribals after the independence were looked after by three different approaches. Our four founders had this idea that either we can isolate the tribals altogether, we can leave them totally eradicated in the condition in which they are living. But this was highly criticized by a lot of people in India, especially the first Prime Minister of India, Jawaharlal Nehru, who came out with a different idea, and that was basically to integrate these tribals. Professor D.N. Majumdar, the head of department at that particular time, University of Lucknow के अंदर में established किया उन्होंने 1950 में University of Lucknow में Department of Anthropology को. He was also accepting that idea of integration, and lately other scholars who were earlier in the you can say कि favor of isolationist approach, they also conceded their part कि हाँ, integration is the right approach. There were certain sociologists and certain other scholars like G.S. Ghure, Gobind Sadasiv Ghure, who basically said कि tribals are nothing but backward Hindus. All we need to do is to assimilate them within the Hindu fold or within the mainland society. So there has to be assimilation. A forceful infiltration sort of drive has to be taken. But ultimately we are aware of the fact that we followed what we call as integrative approach with the ideals of tribal Panchashil formulated by none other than Prime Minister Nehru himself. Now, more than 70 years down the line, when we try to evaluate the condition of tribals, similar pattern, things have improved a lot, but similar patterns, similar problems are still part of their society. So, there is this data particular, apart from the study that we are citing, there is this data from the Bharat Rural Livelihood Foundation, BRLF. The data, the research, the report was presented in 2022. And it highlighted that around 48.2% of the students from the scheduled tribe basically dropped out before they complete the class 8th. The number is quite shocking because other projections are also showcasing the similar trend. 40% of the scheduled tribe children who enroll in class 1 do not even reach the class 10th level. Alright. So the basic education, the problem that existed in the past around the basic education, that is in the present also. Now the study also highlights certain major states in which this trend was quite noticeable. What were those states? Which were those states? Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand, Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan and Odisha, to name a few. The study was focusing basically on the states under the 5th schedule. Alright. I hope you are aware of the provisions of the 5th schedule of the constitution. Alright. You can tell me in the comment section 5th शेड्यूल के अंदर में क्या मेजर पॉइंट्स होते हैं, इसको आप बता सकते हो. सो ये जो रिपोर्ट है इसने रीसेंट ट्रेंड और प्रोजेक्शन को दिखाया. अब ऐसा ही सेम चीज अगर हम देखें तो सहारिया की जो एक ट्राइब है दैट इज वन ऑफ द पीवीटीजीज, उड़ीसा के अंदर में भी ये पीवीटीजी की तरह डेजिग्नेटेड है और कई सारे और स्टेट में भी दिस ट्राइब इज फाउंड. सो इन ओडिशा इट इज पर्टिकुलरली वल्नरेबल ट्राइबल ग्रुप. आई होप कि आपको पता होगा पीवीटीजीज एंड पीटीजीज के बारे में. If not, we'll probably discuss in some other lecture when we'll discuss about the issues of the PVTGs and the present scenario. Now, about the PVTG, in 2015, there was an initiative which was taken. Where an individual, the native individual named Bhan Singh Saharia, he was appointed as a linguistic teacher. He was appointed as a linguistic teacher to teach the student in the very native language, in the mother tongue only, so that the enrollment can also be boosted and the people, the children, whatever they're learning, they can relate more with it. And the results came up. There was a drastic change in the number of enrollment and the attendance that was followed that particular year. But later, this thing was also like a lot of other schemes and other programs. After successful running, after a very short period, this was removed or discontinued by the government, probably due to lack of fund. Now, a lot of such case studies are present in India where the steps have been taken. They prove to be crucial in highlighting or showcasing the major issues. They also gave up the result in a positive manner, but later discontinued. Funding issues again. So what are the major problems? When we study the static part, we are adding this data. This is something, that dynamic approach that we have to follow. But if we have to talk about the static data, what are the crucial problems, major problems that surrounds the world of education amongst the tribals? The problems are, firstly, you see the research of Vijay Lakshmi in 2003. She highlighted in her work that the economic issue and the facilities are lacking. The economic issue and the facilities are the major challenges in the way of education of the tribal people. Economic issues, for example, the timing of the schools is in sync with the timing of the mainland population. For example, in the cities, in the urban areas, or among the non-tribal population, there is a usual timing of the school. That is quite understandable. It is like from morning 7 p.m., 8 p.m., 9 p.m. to, let's say, midday or 1 p.m. or around 2, 3 p.m. Now, most of the tribals who are especially marginalized are engaged into economies like pastoralism, economies like agriculture, horticultural, alright? So, at that level, each and every member of the community is the participant in the economic activity, not like the non-tribals or the mainland population. In our case, if we see our case, the parents are responsible for the upbringing of the children, for providing the monetary support. Financial burden is borne by the parents only. The child has to study. But in the case of these tribals, they are also economic resources. So they are also involving in the production activities. So if the timing of the school is same as the timing of the economic pursuit, then it is going to create a conflict. And most of the time they will choose the what? Economic avenues. They have to focus upon the economic avenues. Help their family members in the production activities. And due to this, what we have seen, the number of enrollment has decreased, or there is a case of missing attendance. People are not attending the school even after the enrollment. So first thing that was highlighted in the work of 2003, that we should flexibly change the timing of the school as per the particular reason. And this thing is like highlighted in the first problem also, the first issue. What is it? The programs are not tailored for the needs of this specific group. We are following a very general approach. One medicine for all the diseases. But that is not the case. The treatment has to be on the lines of the disease that the patient is suffering. Whatever disease you are suffering from, the treatment has to be in the same line. It cannot be the case that you are suffering from, let's say, typhoid, all right, and you are given a COVID vaccine for that. So the programs which are being made, the schemes that are being made, are to be should be tailored, specific fit for the specific tribe. So the timing has to be in sync with the local population, their nature of work. Now, even if we try this, there is again a problem of the availability of the teacher. For example, if the working hours of the people is same as the school hours, that is morning to afternoon, and they are available for the studies during the evening or late afternoon, the teachers might not be available for that. So again, to this problem, people have highlighted some solutions, that the enrollment of teacher has to be from the native place only. You can hire the people, educated people from in and around the villages who are part of the tribe maybe, or maybe at least of the village, and ask them to teach these tribal students. So the timing issue might not be the major factor there. And which was the case which was done here in this case. Saharias ke beech mein the same case was being followed. But later, after giving result, government discontinued it. It was being discontinued. The other problem is of the facilities. If you see, the infrastructural problems are quite challenging, quite alarming. The roofs are leaking. The buildings are like almost at the state of collapsing, and no major fund is released for the repair or restructuration of these campuses where the tribals are studying. Most of the time, the classes are to be held outside the campuses, outside the building. So that is also a major problem which was highlighted in this 2003 work. Another work in the same year 2003 by Vinobha Gautam highlight that the problem is the appointment of the non-tribal teachers. For teaching the tribals, you are appointing a teacher who is non-tribal because they are more trained. But the training is in sync with the mainland population, not in the sync with the demand of the tribal. So firstly, so there are attitude problem. What is the main problem of having a non-tribal teacher? There are attitude problem. Attitude problem, for example, these teachers are having a prejudice. Here it is written also. They are having a prejudice that what a tribal person will do after learning. It is going to be of no use, because even if they are coming to a school, it is mostly for some midday meal type of schemes that are being provided, some accessories, some refreshment if it is provided, some food that is being provided. So they are only coming for that. They are not interested in education. So this is a prejudice. It can be true for a couple of communities, but everybody cannot be like, again, the same thing cannot be generalized for everybody. All right. So this prejudice has to be sidelined. This has to be lifted away. It is a major problem. And recently, if you have seen in the news, I was going through the newspaper a couple of days ago, I think. There is one tribal girl, most probably, who has cleared the JEE mains and have been selected to, I think, IIT like Trichy or some prestigious institution. So this is only our belief. Even for that example, if you see the case of Meenas, Meenas have significantly strengthened their position, competed with a lot of other groups who are also in the scheduled tribe or in the DNTs, and they have like achieved that success, especially at the front of UPSC examination. So if given the opportunity, they can definitely show the brilliance or show the capability that they have. But if you are having this prejudice, why to teach what they are going to do, then there is not going to be any major change. The other problem is of the language of instruction. The language in which they are being taught, they are not the tribal dialect, or at times not even the mother tongue of these people. So they feel disconnected, especially at the early level. Or it's all right to include the tribal languages at the later stages. But initially, the languages have to be what? The dialects that are being followed by the tribal people. The regional languages that are being spoken by them. Another problem which was highlighted by a lot of researchers in the past few decades, that was the parents' prejudice. A lot of tribals, especially in the central and eastern India, there was a case study of the Bhils back 70s and 80s. There was a study of 1973 which highlighted that a section of Bhil community, there were some families which were being interviewed, and they answered that the major reason that they do not want their children to attend the schools and colleges, especially the schools at the early level, is that the girls will go astray. Girls will go astray, like they will follow the trend that is followed by the mainland communities. They will not listen to the parents. They will get modernized. They will lose the values, lose the ethical values. All right. And then the boys will also be on the same line. They are going to be like not following the tradition. They will be also urbanized, modernized. So this was some prejudice. They will like have that what we call in Hindi as the Bagavati Sur. They will get disloyal to the tribe community, and they will have their allegiance towards the non-tribal people. All right. Even in the work, if they excel in the studies, they are going to serve the people who are outside their tribe. And the tribal people are characterized by what we call as the we feeling. So if you are making a person educated, this we feeling will increasingly reduce. All right, and they're going to serve. For example, a lot of Indians, we say Indians are doing this, Indians are doing that, but majorly these people are having the citizenship of other countries, and they are serving the other countries for that matter. You know? Their origin is Indian, but their place of work, the tax that they are paying, and definitely the contribution that they are making is for some other country. All right, just being like Indian by origin does not make you truly Indian. So same is the case that they believe, the tribals. The origin is tribal, but after learning, they will contribute to the non-tribals. They are not going to help us. They are going to leave us. Last problem, which is one of the major challenge, is the problem of syllabus and curriculum. The syllabus and curriculum of these tribal people in their education system is strictly in the lines just like the mainland population. Whatever we are reading, whatever you are reading, the same trend has been followed between them. Now, in the last couple of years, especially in the past couple of decades in the 21st century, regionally there has been some steps taken to include or to restructure the syllabus as per the line of the tribal communities, as per the regional aspirations, regional models. What does that mean? For example, certain nationalist icon or figure or certain phenomena of geography, geology at a very early stage might be very interesting for a person of mainland population. All right. But at the same time, the people, isolated tribal people, it is not part of their worldview. For example, we are learning about Gandhiji, we are learning about Bhagat Singh ji and a lot of other freedom fighter, nationalists and icons and heroes that are part of the Indian history. But along with them, there is a necessity to incorporate the local heroes, regional heroes, Rani Durgavati, Birsa Munda ji. So we need to include them also so that their syllabus can be such that they feel connected with the syllabus. They feel connected with the activities that are being performed. If you are going to put jamming sessions, just a minute session, in the tribal culture, or in the name of games you are asking them to play Damsrash, they are not going to feel that much connected. Although we say the sports activities or games do not have any religion or ethnicity, but still the things that they cherish, the values that they cherish, the games that are regional to them, that should be part of their extended curriculum, which is the part of the non-curricular activities also. All right, the extra curriculum has also to be redesigned on the lines of the tribal aspiration, so that certain games or certain sport, certain regional art, which are fading away very steadily, or at least at times very rapidly, they can be promoted, they can be provided a safeguard, and this will in turn ensure the stability of the Indian heritage. So a multi-front approach has to be taken in that particular case. So the study of 2022, this study of 23-24, and the Saharia's case of 2015 has to be seen. Now, most of the times when we are critically analyzing or framing a conclusion, we tend to follow that very diplomatic, balanced approach. Positive karna hai, and at times we miss to take a stand against certain things. Every time, if you are concluding your answer or writing the criticism or evaluating something in a critical way, the general notion is that we will highlight the problem and say, despite all these problems, the government has done this. So this is very general trend. At times, the evaluator might feel fuzzy. You're not taking the stand. You're not properly having the data. So you can highlight this thing probably, which I have also highlighted in one of the earlier videos. In the latest budget, there has been a huge amount of money, huge amount of fund that has been deducted from the welfare scheme of the tribals. A lot of scholarship scheme of the tribals. And apparently, a lot of schemes even got discontinued. बंद कर दिया गया कई सारी schemes को. तो ये सारे datas को, ये PPT I'll be sharing into the Telegram channel. I'm not detailing this, reading out this again, because this has been covered in one of the earlier videos when the interim budget came up. So you need to focus upon how the Maulana Azad National Fellowship scheme, this was being discontinued. A lot of other schemes were being discontinued. All right. Nai Udan, This was discontinued in the 2023-24. The Naya Savera, there was an allocation of around 80 crores in 2022-23, and later in 2023-24, the allocation almost went half. So it is not just about the tribal, but the data and stats of the tribal are quite similar to that data and stats of the other minority weaker section. And a lot of schemes pertaining to the educational welfare of the weaker section are being discontinued, or the fund has been reduced drastically. It's not that 2 or 3 crore, like 30 to 40 to 50, 70% of the fund are being reduced. At times the scheme entirely are discontinued. All right. See, Begum Hazrat Mahal National Fellowship discontinued 23-24. The Padhao Pradesh discontinued since 2023, 22-23. So, although government is having a lot of emphasis and trying to promote education and literacy among the tribal, the Eklavya model residential school is, for that matter, an example. Recently also the budget allocation in different new schemes, some of them were discontinued, but some of them, new schemes were also there. So you need to focus upon a current status of various things. You need to know that what are the various schemes. Some of them got discontinued. So this is the critical aspect, but some new schemes and some new funding also came up. So you need to have an updated data. Otherwise your content and somebody's other content is not going to be very different. And everybody will end up getting 4.5, 5 marks out of 10. Or maybe 6, 6.5 out of 15. So for that, you need to continuously focus upon building your answer content, updating your content. So in that sense, I'll also like to share an information with you. Here we are also launching a program that is going to start quite soon, within a couple of days, and that is the Anthropology Optional Target 60 program. It is basically a combination of crash course plus the MTS. What is MTS? MTS is the mains test series. Now this mains test series is an advanced test series. For example, when the student take admission in our foundation batches, for that matter, it is also starting from 24th of July. Here also you are getting the test series, but the level of this test series is quite upgraded. The questions are not always in sync with the PYQs. They are challenging questions. At times there are trick and trap questions where you might feel like some sort of struggle to understand what is the demand of the question, and this will enable you to build an analytical skill for the UPSC examination. So if you are interested, who can join the program? Let me tell you, somebody who has cleared the prelims 2024 and appearing for mains 24, somebody who has completed at least 50% of the entire static syllabus through foundation course with us or anywhere else, or maybe self preparation also, somebody who is looking for enrichment of the content, somebody who wants a guided approach how to cover the syllabus. So it is not that only the advanced test series model answers and discussion will be there, or the PYQ analysis, which is most frequently done in the enrichment program, but here we are also having classes, 20 to 25 classes spanning over 2-month period, 3 classes each week. We'll be covering the entire syllabus in these classes, focusing upon the areas which are more scoring, from where the questions are coming. All right, so you can join in the batches using the code USLive 6999, the course of the price of the course, and if you are old student of StudyIQ, there will be discount for you. So old student ke liye there is a discount that you can avail. For that you have to ask me out for the discount. How you can reach me out? These are the IDs on which you can reach me out. Instagram utkarshsingh_here, Gmail okutkarshsingh@gmail.com. All right. The details of enrollment, the link of enrollment, and all the other features and the brochure is available on our Telegram channel, Anthropology Recorded by Utkarsh Singh. A lot of free material pertaining to Anthropology optional is also available. Code you have to remember, if you are taking part in foundation batches using the code USLive, our code, then you are definitely going to get the mentorship from me through social media handles. वो भी आपको मिल जाएगी. But for that, again, you have to ask me out, connect me after enrolling with USLive. In the P2I batches, Judiciary, PCS, you have to communicate me here. All right. And if you are somebody who is enrolling in the optional courses, let me inform you, 24th July, our batches are going to start. So if you are seeing this video on a later date, and if you are willing to join the batch, but the date has gone, so you can ask me or inquire me about the upcoming batches on these IDs. यहाँ पर आप पूछ सकते हो अगर आपको इंक्वायरी करनी है कि अगला बैच कब आएगा, कब ज्वाइन कर सकते हैं, या मैक्सिमम डिस्काउंट मेरे केस में क्या एप्लीकेबल होगा, बिकॉज ओल्ड स्टूडेंट्स गेट like extra discount. In some other cases also there is some extra discount available for every candidate. So for that you need to connect me. 15999 US live का कोड लगाना है, class, recorded lectures and the test series is included. But this is if you the category I've told you, if you are somebody who's looking for enrichment, focused approach, completed the static portion or at least 50% or appearing for mains, this is the standard thing that you need to think about, ponder upon, है ना. तो इसके बारे में सोचिएगा, जरूर आप ज्वाइन कर सकते हो. कोई भी असिस्टेंस चाहिए तो रीच मी आउट. विल बी बैक इन द नेक्स्ट वीडियो ऑफ Anthro Lens or most certainly the Anthropology at fingertips. Till then, keep smiling. Thank you. Have a nice day.